Oh. All right. Gives me great pleasure to call this meeting to order tonight. We have a lot of guests here tonight, and we are very excited about all of them being here with us. We are going to begin, as we normally do, with the Pledge of Allegiance, led by our interim superintendent, Dr. Ingram.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now if you'd remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. And Ms. Parker, we'd like to start off with our roll call, please.
Sharon Warden,
Present.
Dr. Sheila Williams,
Present.
George Archuleta,
Here.
Virginia Houston,
Present.
Pam Perezza,
Here.
Rodney Walton,
Here.
Daniel Spence.
Here.
Thank you, Ms. Parker. And now our ethics awareness statement, Ms. Houston.
Welcome to the April 26, 2022 meeting of the Elizabeth City Board of Education. It is my duty to remind members of the board that it is your responsibility to avoid all conflicts of interest and potential conflicts of interest in accordance with Chapter 138A of North Carolina General Statutes. As public servants, it is your duty to continually monitor, evaluate, and manage your personal, financial, and professional affairs in such a way as to ensure the absence of conflicts or potential conflicts. Does any member know of any conflict of interest or potential conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the board this evening? Let the record reflect that no conflicts exist.
Thank you. And I'd like to move to approve the agenda for April 26th, 2022 as presented. I need a second from the floor
Second.
and a roll call vote.
Ms. Warden,
Ms. Parker, I don't vote on those. Yeah.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Archuleta,
Yes.
Ms. Houston,
Yes.
Ms. Perezza,
Yes.
Mr. Walton.
Yes.
And Daniel Spence.
Yes.
Okay, the motion is approved. And now we're going to move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Ingram.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and board members and members of the audience. I love reports like this because it highlights our kids and our young people, young adults, forgive me. But after all, that's why we're here. And I really appreciate the hard work that they put in and the teachers that have led them. So first, I would like to recognize our band director from Pasquotank County High School, Mr. Nick Stanley, to make a presentation, and we'll pause for a photo and then we'll move on.
Good evening, Board Chair Warden, Superintendent Ingram, members of the Board of Education, guests, and everybody else. My name is Nick Stanley. Like Dr. Ingram said, I'm the band director at Pasquotank County High School. With me is Holly Weiss. She is a junior tuba player at Pasquotank County High School. Holly has been selected and auditioned rather, and this was selected to participate in the Macy's Great American Marching Band, which is a for lack of a better term, an all-American marching band that'll be in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade this November. She approached me about a month ago asking, what can you do to help me prepare for an audition? I reached out to my colleague, Dr. Jared Williams at East Carolina University. We had 2 virtual auditions and then, 2 virtual lessons. And then we did some recording and she sent it in and we found out at the first of this month. The news has spread really fast at PCHS and around the community through the school's social media and my social media, their social media, everybody's social media. This is a huge honor. She is the first student, to my knowledge, former band directors at Pasquotank County High School and other band directors in the community to make this band. So this is outstanding that we have not only somebody from Elizabeth City Pasquotank Public Schools, but, you know, shameless plug, from Pasquotank County High School, my band director. But I'm super proud of Holly that she'll be in New York City for this parade. It's a huge honor, like I said, for the band. It brings a large financial expense for the family because it's all on them. They have created a GoFundMe page. It's about $2,700 for a student to attend, and that GoFundMe page, as of the other day, had raised $1,300. So again, Holly Weiss, congratulations on behalf of the band, and I don't know if I can speak for the district, but I'm sure they are happy for you. Yeah.
We can get a picture.
That's if you guys want to come and stand. I'm full crouch. It's a little bit. Oh, this right around.
Congratulations, Holly. Thank you for representing us so well. Do it again. Okay. All right. Okay.
Congratulations. That's a huge honor for us as well as for you. So be very proud of that accomplishment. And we will be watching as you march by.
Guaranteed. Next, we have also from Pasquotank County High School, our art teacher, Mr. John Lee. He has brought some students with him and some artwork to present to some board members. So we're fortunate to have you with us again. Thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, and good evening to the board. My students are here this evening to present each of you an example of their ceramics pieces that were created this year in my Ceramics 1 classes. Them wanting to bring their work or give you a piece of their artwork came around a few months ago when we were talking. Couple of you may have some artwork from years ago.
Yes.
That I believe it was 2015 that another group of my students brought some photography, some paintings and things like that. But I was telling a couple students about that and they were like, well, when's the last time? I said, well, that was the last time. And they said, well, why can we do something like that? And I was like, yeah, that would be fantastic. So along with their regular classwork, they proceeded to create new pieces for each one of the board members.
Wow.
So, and we recently finished firing them and things like that, and we're here tonight to present them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call the students up and I'll have them, and I'll call a board member and they'll just give their artwork to that board member this evening. So first, I'd like to call Sierra Rice. She's a 12th grader, and she is going to be presenting her work to Miss Warden.
And I still have my
I have
portrait
mine
of
also.
the
Yes.
turtle.
Yes.
I still have that. And I also have this
Yes.
that was made by one of your art students,
Now,
I
I
believe.
believe that was probably made by one of Mr. Peel's.
Yeah,
I think
okay.
it came from Northeastern.
All right. I'm excited to accept it. Thank you. Oh. that's
Oh,
beautiful.
gosh, that's
It is pretty.
Yeah, goodness, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. Let me. Thank you. Let me come around. Oh, we have to take. Oh, you can't. In this time of COVID, you almost hesitate, but I'm gonna give you a hug. Very, very. Thank you. You're so much.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You're welcome. Next is Natalie Meads. She's a 10th grader. And she is going to be presenting to Dr. Williams.
Oh,
That's beautiful.
Oh,
oh my
that's
God. Oh.
Good job, Natalie.
Or she can go around. Or she can go around. Beautiful.
Next this evening is Zariana Barrett. She's also a 10th grader. Will be presenting to Mr. Archuleta.
Oh, oh.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful.
Next, I have Erica Quintero. She's a senior this year. And she is going to be presenting to Miss Houston.
I'll go up there.
Uh-oh. At least it was the microphone and not the,
Nice. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I have a couple students that weren't able to be here tonight. And the next student that was here to present was Sanaya Brown. She's a senior and her work is going to go to Ms. Pereza. Yeah.
How cool is that?
well, that's cool.
Look at that.
Gotta get away, didn't it, Caroline?
Yeah.
Caroline, I'll let you get away.
So I don't know if I have permission to speak, but Sanaya actually had a signing this afternoon. She's going to play basketball at MacU. So
The next art student is Tamara Spellman. She's a senior. And she is going to be giving her work to, or presenting her work to Mr. Spence.
Oh. Wow.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Next is Naya Hassel. She is a 10th grader. She is going to present her work to Mr. Walton.
Thank you. Naya? That's very well. Thank you.
Okay, and the final one this evening is from Antigone Grace. She's an 11th grader, but she wasn't able to make it this evening, and she was going to present her work to Dr. Ingram.
I can't wait.
That's pretty.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
Oh.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Right. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
I'd like to thank you for sharing your evening with us, and I hope the artwork brings you years of joy. I'd also like to thank all the parents and families for coming out tonight supporting their students.
Thank you, Mr. Lee and Mr. Stanley and all of the students. We certainly appreciate your hard work, and the gifts are just really very precious to me. I will cherish it always because it came from my home folks. So thank you. A few other things, May always needs about 45 days when it comes to school districts because we have so many celebrations. So I'll just go through some very quickly. The board members, you've received an email. It's not inclusive of every single thing, I'm sure, but it captures most of them. We have our retirement celebration this week, Thursday night or evening at 5:30 at Montero's. That's our retirement celebration. On May 3rd, we have our senior awards for our early college high school at 6:30 in the lecture hall, room 208 at COA at the AE building. Our Teacher of the Year event will be at the Kermit White building at 6 p.m. on May 4th. Northeastern Senior Award, 6 p.m. at the gym on May 10th. We've got Board of Education committee meetings the 16th. The 17th, we've got 2 events, an FFA banquet at Pasquotank County High and also Senior Scholars Recognition at Museum of the Albemarle. May 21st, we have the early college graduation at the COA Auditorium. We have our regular board meeting May 23rd. June 1st, Pasquotank County High graduation at the Vaughn Center, 7 p.m. June 2nd, the Northeastern graduation at 7 p.m. at the Vaughn Center as well. And the biggest event I'm saving for last. Tomorrow, we are welcoming our incoming superintendent at 4:30 at Museum of the Albemarle. Everybody is invited, and I pledge my support, not just tomorrow, but in the years to come. So anyway, we're all looking forward to welcoming him and or her. And please come out and show good hospitality and welcome our new leader to our district and our community. So Chair Ward, board members, members of the audience, that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Ingram. I have one thing to add for the board members. Remember, you are supposed to contact Mr. Lane about going in to do a little congratulatory speech for the SAT awards. They're going to be virtual and that's going to be recorded. So if you've not contacted him to set up a time, please do so. If you recall, he sent us an email and indicated a time frame. I sent back and said that my time was very flexible, just pick a time for me and I'd come. And so I'm going in at 9 o'clock. He said to keep it very brief and, as I said, congratulatory. So please make sure you contact him so you can set up a time to go in. Okay. All right, we're going to move on with the agenda, and I need a motion from the floor to approve the minutes for March 29th, April 4th, and April 11th.
I move to approve the minutes for March 29th, April 4th, and April 11th, 2022.
And a second?
Second.
And we need a roll call vote.
Yes.
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 And Ms. Parker, I'm assuming we had no changes with public comments to you. We do have someone here who has signed up. Do you have any? Okay. All right, Mr. Sawyer.
I have asked for, is this on? Is it on? I have asked for extra 4 minutes, just to let y'all know. I don't know if it's gonna be granted. I don't know if it's gonna be granted or not, but, I'll just start anyway. March 9th of last year was the day I got the phone call from now, I believe it's the ex-school, board, spokesperson. At least I hope so anyway. But she's the one that called me and told me I would no longer be able to volunteer after 17 years. And I've been fighting it ever since. The one thing that y'all didn't implement in that was that every yearly, I can reapply. So I attempted to do that March 9th this past year. She kind of set it up some kind of way where I couldn't even pull out the application. You know, at least let me fill out the application and then reject me like you did last year. But that wasn't the case. She blocked it some kind of way where I couldn't even do it. And then the next thing she does is go run into the superintendent, who that same night sends me a letter. You will find a letter written to you by the board's legal counsel. It clearly states that the board has made its final decision and will not entertain further requests from you regarding this petition to volunteer. Please refrain for the request or refrain from confronting or making disparaging remarks in public about board members or staff. If your behavior continues, I will ask legal counsel to seek any and all legal remedies to get you to stop. Well, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but that sounds like to me a violation of my freedom of speech as in the First Amendment of the Constitution. The Federal Trade Commission and the Fair Credit Reporting Act both read, if you get background information, the notice must be in writing and in standalone format. That was not the case. This notice cannot be in an employment application such as the new background system that this board approved in March 21. By law, the employer must provide a candidate with a copy of the report and notify them of their right before taking any action. That did not happen either. According to the bylaws, the presiding officer can silence speech they consider personally directive or abusive. In reality, having a rule that says you are not allowed to make personally directed comments is viewpoint based. That essentially is a rule by government saying that citizens cannot criticize them. There's a First Amendment that gives the citizens of the U.S. the ability to express that. There are people in this room, including the school attorney, that do not understand this. The people of the school district should be allowed to raise their concerns and criticize their elected or hired officials. Whenever you enter politics, rather as a candidate, such as myself, or board member or administration staff, you must be able to accept criticism and concern from the public. If you can't have that, you need to resign. You know, I've never been against the new background check that y'all passed last March. Never been against that. But what I am against is I've been in place for 17 years prior to this. You know, there should have been some kind of, I don't know the proper word, but I've been a faithful employee for 17 years on that football program. I remember when we were winning 6 games a year. Now, you know how long it takes us to lose 6 games now? 6 years. Lose 1 game a year, and that's usually late in the playoffs, very late. You know, I can't change my past. There's not a person in this room that hasn't made a mistake. Just 4 years ago, Ms. Warden handed me this. Employee Exceeding Excellence. That was 4 years ago. Today she stabs me in the back. What has changed since this moment? You know, Ms. Board Chair, I'm sure that you've lost people in your life that you love, but have you actually lost something that you love so much? Basically for no reason. I have lost that something when I was taken for this football team. It's tearing me up inside. It's a big part of my life. And to lose it the way I lost it, it's unfair. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if you've ever lost anything that means so much to you as this does to me. But I hope you find out on November 8th when I run against you. So that's the only way you're going to understand how I feel. I can look at you. I can tell how much it means to you to be on this board. I know you love it to death. It's the same as me with football. And I feel the only way you can realize what it means to me is if I beat you, and I'm going to do everything I can to do. Tonight, I never really did get a fair vote. I don't think there was even a vote to reinstate tonight. I may be wasting my time, but tonight I'm going to ask 5 board members, someone to hopefully make a motion and someone to second a motion, and then you vote rather to reinstate me or not. I'm asking that Warden and Archuleta excuse yourself from the vote because I am running against them. I have nothing against Mr. Archuleta, but you know, you're not going to help somebody that's running against you. So I'm asking if we do make it this far and y'all vote, of course, if the motions go through, that them to exclude themselves. That would give me 5 people voting. You know, I was told not to ask, but I'm going to anyway. And there's no harm in asking. I'm not doing anything wrong by doing this. But you know, and if that doesn't happen tonight, I will approach the new superintendent, see what that happens, see how that goes. And if that doesn't happen, I'll wait till November. I don't want to wait till November because by that time the regular season will be over and we'll be trying for another state championship like we do every year. You know, and I'll be missing a lot of 7-on-7 tournaments and stuff like that in the summertime that I'm a big part of. I mean, that's really all I have. I hope somebody can do something. I'd like for it to be done right now, while everybody's here watching. If that's not the case, like I said, I'll just leave. But after 17 years, I feel like I deserve at least a vote, even if it doesn't go my way. 17 years is a long time. And I've never been in any trouble. 17 years. Like I said, I mean, she's giving me awards, just like they gave out tonight. And I hope none of y'all that got an award tonight, you stand in the back 17 years from now,
Mr. Sawyer,
you know? All right.
I let you go over time, so
Okay,
I think,
That's fine, thank you.
thank you.
So I guess I don't see any hands, I guess I'll just leave. I do thank y'all for y'all's time tonight. Y'all see how that went? Thank y'all for your time in here.
Okay, moving on with the agenda, we need to take action on the following items: the budget amendments, the STEM scopes quote, the county funding request, the board meeting schedule for 2022, 2023, and the face coverings. Are there any concerns before I ask for the motion on that? Okay, so may I have a motion from the floor to take action on those items?
Madam Chair, okay, go ahead.
Ms. Houston, by all means.
Go ahead, Ms. Houston.
Madam Chair, can you all hear me because this is showing red?
Yes.
You can hear?
I can
Okay,
hear you.
Okay,
Fine.
good. I move that we approve the items on the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we've had a motion and a second to approve the items on the consent agenda, and now we need a roll call vote.
Dr. Williams,
Yes.
George Archuleta,
Yes.
Virginia Houston,
Yes.
Pam Preza,
Yes.
Rodney Walton.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, is there anything else that anyone has at this time that we need to discuss or
It's red.
mention? Can't think of anything. Dr. Ingram has gone over all the dates that we're obligated to attend, if you can. So, Mr.
I do have a
Spence.
question. The email we received about
Thank you.
recognition for food service department, is that public information?
The ratings and the awards that were received.
Can we, is it possible we can share that with Dr. Ingram? I don't know if she's gonna come later and do it or not, but I just thought it was a nice,
Later,
those are the three workers, three employees who got some awards.
yeah, Ms.
Mhm.
Reinhardt, maybe she
I
could
think that
present
was-
them to us and have them come here.
Yeah, I mean, nice that she can come in.
Have them come here to see us.
I just didn't want to overlook. I know it's,
Yeah, we had some food service workers who received some pretty prestigious awards in order for them to attend certain conferences for their particular organization. And we also, so I assume Ms. Reinhardt is going to come maybe at the committee meeting and present them. Also, just something that goes along with that, the food service department, the entire department for every cafeteria in our system received a 100 rating from the state. And that is tremendous. And it's like I've tried to go around and say something to each one of the ladies at the different cafeterias. I haven't made it to all of them yet, but I did share, and then there were some that had already left when I finally got, they have a lot of prep time that they have to take care of everything. And so when they get cleaned up and get everything put away, they're ready to get out of there. And then some of them, of course, drive buses. So anyway, but I shared with them as well as Ms. Reinhardt that the food services have certainly changed since I was in school. And that was, believe me, for you students who are in the audience, that was a long time ago. But the food is really, really good. And you should be very, very proud of your cafeteria workers and what they do every day. So if you haven't had an opportunity to tell them thank you, please do that, because they're in there working hard in order to serve you nutritional meals each and every day. So thank you for mentioning that, Mr. Spence.
Thank you, because our district has so much going on, and we
Yeah.
don't celebrate enough of the
Right.
good things that we do well in our district, so I
That's,
think.
that's exactly right. So good point. Okay. Now we're going to move on, and I'm going to ask Dr. Williams if she will give us the motion to go into, oh, yes, Mr. Archuleta.
I just want to thank the parents again, because it's all about these young people here. That's what it's all about. And you parents are bringing them up. And I thank you all. I really do. I want to give you another.
Yeah, we love our pieces of art, and like I said, we're going to be watching for you at the Thanksgiving Day Parade as you march on. Now, what instrument do you play? Again, tell me. Okay, all right. So we'll know to look for that. Okay, so Dr. Williams, can you give us a motion to go into close?
Okay, sure. A motion for the board to go into closed session as allowed by NC General Statute 143 through 318, 11A6, for the purpose of considering one or more personnel matters that are confidential under NC General Statute 115C through 320, and as allowed by the NC Statute 143 through 318, 11A3, to consult with the board attorney regarding matters protected by the attorney-client privilege and to preserve that privilege.
I'll second it.
All right, we've had a motion and a second. Did you get the second, Ms. Parker? Mr. Archuleta, okay. And we need a roll call vote to go into close.
Dr. Sheila Williams,
Yes.
George Archuleta,
Yes.
Virginia Houston,
Yes.
Pam Preza,
Yes.
Rodney Walters.
Yes.
Daniel
Yes.
The board will resume open session live stream following closed session.